Hello, welcome to today's session. In today's tutorial, we are going to learn about forms. What is HTML form? We have seen that when you go to any website, you get option to fill the form, you fill your details, school registration form, hotel registration, seat booking form. If you want to book your seat, you want to take the admission, you fill the form. So that all is possible using HTML forms. Now, the tag which we use to create HTML form is form tag. Now we have two types of methods in which we create the form. We can see get and post. So these are the methods in form. So what is the actual use of form? I'll tell you. First, you put the form action. Then you put your link which you want to create. Then the method. Now what is the method? First, let's talk about the first method, get. If you put a method as a get, whatever information you fill in your form, that remains in your browser URL, that is visible on your browser. So when you are trying to fill the private data, the passwords or the phone numbers, that time get is not recommended to use, because your information gets visible in the URL. If you want to put any private information, you're going to use post, because in post the browser URL doesn't display all the data you are putting in. So the major difference between get and post is that in get, all the data which you fill in the form, that gets displayed in the URL, and whatever you put in the post, that doesn't get displayed in the URL. That is the thing about method. Now it is about how you want it to get displayed. If you want your data in the URL, you will use get, otherwise you will use post. Also, get has a length restriction. So consider you're putting address or something which is like a very lengthy text, you can't use get. Form attributes. First is action. What you want it to happen, where it should go. Consider when you fill the form, school registration form, I'll give the example. You click on submit, it takes you to the thank you page. So that is the action which it is playing. Then the method, where how you want to upload the data, get and post, which I explained right now. Now target, which we have seen in the previous sessions also, that a blank self parent, in which window it should open, that is the target attribute. Now what are the common HTML form controls? There is a text input, you can take check boxes, radio boxes, select box, hidden controls, clickable buttons, you can upload files, submit and reset button. You are going to learn everything about this. Now when you talk about text input controls, you can take single word also. So single line text input control takes your name, surname. It is for that purpose. Now you talk about password input controls. It is going to take the password. When you type the password, it is going to turn it into the character, like it happens in the Gmail or other places. When you type your password, the alphabets are not displayed. It is the black circles coming up. The character is coming up. That is done using password input control. And multi-line text input control is for the big sentences like the address, or you want to put some information, you want to take certain information from the user, the feedback. That is multi-line text input controls. Now let's look at the example. It is used to take the first name and last name. Consider the first text input control. So what I'm going to do is, one by one which input control we see, I'm going to go to the Sublime and do it for you, so that we can see how it is working. So whenever you want to start the form, your first tag is always going to be form. This form tag is going to act like your container, which is going to hold all your information. So how we write is, we write first name, then we write input type. And what input type we want? We want it to be text. And I'm going to close this. I'm going to give break. Again, I'm going to do the last name. I'm going to put input type is equal to text. I'm going to put the break. I'm going to save this. Now we have completed first step. I'll go to my browser. You can see I can type the first name. I can type the last name. There's not a lot of space, so I'll just give 2 break tags. And in this, I'll start with We have done with the first name and the last name. So we gave first name, input type is equal to text. And we gave the break tag. Now let's look at the password. I'll give the break tag again here. I'll give password, input type equal to password. And then I'm just going to close this and I'm going to put break 2 times for the space. Now let's go to the output and see. Now when I try to type something, you can see special characters are coming up. This is the best thing about password. Now let me show you how can you accept the bigger text. I'll take address. I'll write input type equal to text, because address is also going to be your text. I'll close this. We will take break and we will again take break. Let me save this and let's refresh. You can see the address box is coming up. Now we have seen till here. Now let's start from the next slide. We have seen input. Now we will see radio button. So what is the radio button? You use input type as a radio. You can see you can select the gender kind of things. Your subjects you can select using the radio button. Before we move to the radio button, what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you few more form controls like age that is really needed in all the forms. Input type. Now you have seen we will write number because your age is always going to be a number. Now I'm going to write value. This is for computer to understand that what we are accepting. Now I want to make, you can see in certain forms there is a red color star kind of thing that it is compulsory, it's mandatory. If you don't fill that, it doesn't get submitted. So if you want to do that kind of thing in your form, you're going to use required attribute. Just add required, it is going to make that thing compulsory for you. Now we have done the age. Now let me show you email. In email, we write input type equal to email. Why I'm adding emails? Because it accepts the @ character. So if you don't put here @ character, it will ask you to do so. Let me run till here. See, you can see age as a number. I can put @. It will accept the special character because it has @ in it, because we have added input type as an email. Now let's look how we accept the mobile numbers. So I'll write mobile number, input type is equal to number BR. I'll save this. And you can see it is giving this numbers to fill the mobile number. Now let's look how we put the date. So for date, what we do is we give input type as a date. Date, we close this and we put the break tag. So see, it's giving you the thing to add date. Now let's start with the radio button. So we create first label. So I'll write label for what we are going to create. For consider computer language. This is for computers understanding. This will not get displayed. Now this thing which I'm writing, that will get displayed, computer language. I'm going to close the label. I'm going to give the break tag. So you can write this first name also in label, or you can write directly. Here we have done directly, so I'm showing you this with a different method so that you understand how things are done differently. Then I'll write input type equal to radio. I'm going to give the ID. This is for computers understanding. And then I'm going to give the name. Name will be same for all three values. And I'll give value. What is the value of it? HTML. And I'll just give the break tag. Now I'm going to give the three values. this way so that you can see how the radio button works. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to CSS and JavaScript. I'm going to change here also CSS and JavaScript. Let's write the value here, CSS and the JavaScript. Let me save this and let's run and check. See, you can see 3 radio buttons. You can see I'm just able to select one. Why I am able to select one? Because the name is language for all 3. If I change this, I'll be able to select multiple. But we don't need to select multiple here. We will learn that with checkbox. Let me show you the presentation. Now it is checkbox. It gives you square box to tick activate. In checkbox, you can choose one or more items at a time. In radio button, we're using radio box 1 only. So this is the code for it. Let's try to do it on the subline. What I'm going to do is I'll give one more break here and I'll start here. H2, choose language. I'll close H2. Now what we will do is we are going to create a list. So you will write UL style. I'll show you first in the presentation how it is done. See, UL style. You are creating a list. So UL style list style type none. We don't need to put any type for now. Now I'll add list item. In the form of list item, I'm putting my input is equal to checkbox. Language value is equal to Hindi. I'll put slash, I'll close this, I'll just write Hindi here, what it should display. Now same way what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do for all of them. 2 more languages I'll put. So I'll put here English. Let's put English here. English, and I'll put French here. Let me add the French word to get displayed. Let's save this and let's check the output. You can see I can select one or more. So you can select multiple options in the checkbox. Now the next topic which we are going to do here is select box. So select box is used to create the drop down. You have seen in many forms you have option of a drop down. So this drop down is created using select box. This is how it gets displayed. You have to click on it, you get the drop down and you fill the details. You select the thing, what you want to select. So let me show you how the drop down is created. I'll just give the break here. We put select name equal to drop down. Then you put option value equal to consider maths. I'll put after maths selected, so that will come on the first category. I'll close this, I'll write maths and I'll close the option. Same way I'm going to do for consider physics. I'll do for physics. I'll put the physics value here. And then I'm going to close my select BR. See, we get the option. You can give the heading for languages. I'll give the heading subject. Okay, So we have seen this. Let's go to the next. It is file upload box. So here we are going to learn, when you go to a website, you get option to upload a file on your website. You want to upload any document, you want to upload your resume, you want to upload your result. For that we use this file upload option. Let me go to the tag is file name. You put input type as your file name. Let me go to the code and do this. What we do is input type equal to file name equal to file upload except. So what we do is we give except equal to and then we write image. You want to upload image also, everything gets uploaded here. Now I'm going to close this and let's give the break tag. Let's run it. You can see I have option to choose file. So it lets me upload anything. Now the last thing which we will learn is the button controls. We will learn 3 types of button: submit, reset and the OK button. So for that you use your input type. Let's go to the code. We will write input type equal to, consider my first button is submit, name equal to submit, and then the value is equal to submit. I'm just going to give slash and close this. This way I'm going to create 3 buttons: submit, reset, OK. You can customize your button also using input. I'll change this to reset. This is my reset button. I'll change the reset thing here also as the name, and my value will also be reset now. Now OK is our customizable button, so input type will come button and the value here, name will be OK, and value what you want to display. So using this you can customize your button. Let me run the output. We can see we have 3 buttons: submit, reset, OK. So in form we have learned different input types to accept name, password, address, age, email, date. Then we have learned about radio buttons, check boxes, select option, the drop down list, how to upload a file and how to create buttons. Hope it is clear for everyone. Thank you so much.